Hi, this is Alina with Practical Product Reviews, and what I've got today is the NutriChef by Pyle. This is a food processor and immersion blender, which I'm going to do an unboxing and we'll do a demonstration of how it actually works. So first thing is opening the box, and here we see all of our gadgets. They're nicely boxed up and packaged. There is our user manual, which we will definitely be needing. So now we have our Pyle 6-in-1 Turbo 5-speed food processor and immersion hand blender assembled. So we'll go through the various parts of it. The first is the motor unit. This is the motor unit. And then we have the blender bar. And then there's the blender jar. And then there is the coupling unit and the whisk. There is also a spatula that is included with the set. Now for the food processor, there is the food processor jar lid, which is where all the attachments are resting and storing. To go with our food processor, we have our cutters, and we have a blade unit. Next we have our chopper bowl, which has its own blade unit inside of it. And then last we have our masher, which is this piece right on top. Now we're going to go ahead and move the food processor aside so we can show you all the individual pieces and how they function. I'm going to show you the head unit while we have it out. This is your power on-off button. There are 5 variable speeds, and then there is a turbo button here. On the bar is a nice guide that tells you exactly how to attach what parts and what they are to be used for. To detach this, the coupling or any other part, you would simply push the button and disassemble it as such. So the first part that we're going to demonstrate is the hand blender. Once you've got your ingredients in the blender jar, you're going to attach the blender bar to the motor unit. And then you'll immerse the blade guard completely into the ingredients. You want to move the appliance slowly up and down and in circles to blend. So that is our blender assembly. Next is how we actually assemble and use the whisk. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your coupling, attach your whisk to your coupling, connect the coupling to the motor unit. Now that you have your whisk assembled, what you do is you go ahead and put your ingredients into the blender jar. You'll plug it in, and then you'll set the speed that you want to whisk at. At that point, of course, you'll whisk your ingredients in the blender jar. Here we have the chopper. It's pretty simple. You'll attach the blade unit to the chopper, attach the lid, and put your motor head directly on top of your chopper. And this will chop ingredients such as nuts, meat, onions, hard cheese, boiled eggs, so on and so forth. Next we have our masher, which is intended primarily for cooked vegetables. What you'll do with the masher is attach the masher assembly to the motor unit. Of course, put your ingredients into the blender cup. Plug your unit in, set your masher on speed 1. Push the button, mash up and down throughout the mix until the desired result is achieved. So that is it for our masher. Now here we have our food processor. Now a food processor gives us a lot of options for slicing meats, shredding cheeses, all sorts of things that you can think of. To start with the food processor, there are several ways we can use it. First of all, we're going to demonstrate putting the slicer actually on to the food processor itself. So you'll take your slicer, whichever of your choice, and put it on top of your assembly. You want to attach the bottom of that unit into the food processor here, insert it into the food processor, and of course you attach the food processor top. Once you have the top one, I'm going to go ahead, take your motor unit, attach it to the processor. Now supposing, since we are using a slicer, we wanted to slice cheese, we would open up the ports on the food processor top and insert our cheese and push it down into the opening. One other way to use our food processor is to take and use it with the blade. And simply attach the blade to the unit that snaps into the food processor itself. Next, we'll put the top onto the food processor, attach the motor head, and set it on the desired speed. So that's how we use the blade assembly in our food processor. I hope I've helped you in making a more informed decision about the multiple processor options available to you, as well as with the Pyle specifically. I thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great evening.